My name is Juanita, and I'm a dietitian and a diabetes educator. I have just recently opened my own business here in Dayton, Ohio, and looking forward to doing what is called a kitchen checkup. I am also going to be starting a YouTube channel, which is what this video is all about. The topic that I'm going to talk about today is herbs and spices that you use in your kitchen. And one reason why I'm going to talk about that is that in order to cook or make food at home, you do need herbs and spices. And I would share with you that you do need herbs and spices that actually work in the food that you're putting it into. Now we're going to talk about buying, storing, and using herbs. And these herbs come in different forms. You can purchase them dried, fresh, in paste form, or in freeze-dried herb form. So first of all, we're going to talk about the dried herbs. So most people do have a wide variety of herbs in their cabinet. Dried herbs are generally more potent and concentrated than your fresh. You will use a 1-to-3 ratio. So if you are using your dried herb, you're going to use a third less than what you would for your fresh. So if your recipe called for 1 tablespoon of fresh, you would only use 1 teaspoon of your dried. You're going to do a crush test on your herb. Basically, this is just to make sure that it is still fresh. So crush the herb in your hand or before you put it into. And basically, when you crush the herb, you should be able to smell the aroma from the herb. Also, looking at the herb, you're going to be able to tell, is it still fresh? For instance, this probably needs to be thrown out because it's kind of a dull green color. If it's not a vibrant color, it's not fresh. You will always add your dried herbs at the beginning or the middle of cooking your food. This helps the herb to permeate the food and helps with the flavoring. Storage of your herbs. You're going to store those in a cool, dry place. Out of direct light, you don't want those over your stove or over your dishwasher. The heat will destroy your herbs. The other tips I would give you would be is for your bright red herbs, your chili powder, paprika, store those in the refrigerator, and that will help to retain the color. Most dried herbs will keep their flavor for 6 to 12 months. A way to tell when you have purchased your herbs is take a permanent marker and just mark the date that you bought that herb. And that way you will know when to get a new herb. And I do have some fresh herbs. These are typically a little bit more expensive than your dried. So I have here some oregano. And to store your fresh herbs, what you want to do is you want to take your herbs and you want to snip the bottoms of those herbs. Don't have to be neat or tidy about it. Take a glass, fill it with some water, put those herbs into the glass. And you're going to take a plastic bag or some plastic and wrap that up. That will keep in your refrigerator for 1 to 2 weeks. So if you notice that the water's turned brown, you can just change out the water and that will help to keep your herbs fresher. Other types of herbs that you can purchase in the store is they do have the paste type herbs. And these are fresh herbs that have been made into a paste. So these are very convenient. You don't have to snip, store in water. These basically will stay good in your refrigerator for 3 months. If you did keep this in the freezer, it's good for 6 months. They do also have freeze dry, which these are fresh herbs. And basically what you would do is you would add water to this. It's equal portions for, if your recipe calls for 1 tablespoon, this would be 1 tablespoon of this fresh herb. This would be 1 tablespoon of your paste. So those are the options. And of course, the other thing to think about when you are using herbs is the cost of the herbs. Dried herbs are the least expensive. Fresh herbs probably are the most expensive. If you are making a very special dish, perhaps you do want to have fresh herbs in your dish, in contrast to dried herbs. Instead of adding those at the beginning or the middle of the cooking, if your recipe doesn't call for when to add your herbs, you will add your fresh herbs at the end of cooking. That way the flavor will permeate the dish better. I hope you will subscribe, and I hope that you will continue to tune in. And again, my name is Juanita, and it's my pleasure.